We're living in an Adamic nightmare to which we must be awoken. Pinch me. I'm dreaming. Whenever life gets so good, we hear people use the quote, pinch me, I'm dreaming. We say this with the hope that we aren't dreaming. How do we pinch someone to waken them out of this Adamic sleep? It would require more than a physical pinch because it is the physical that constitutes our dream reality. Pinching someone in this case would only confirm it. We sing songs with the words, he touched me. Are we implying a physical touch? Or is there something more real to this touch meant by the songwriter? These are thoughts and questions started by the simple quote, pinch me, I'm dreaming. It was said that Jesus pricked them to heart. So to wake you to a true reality and get you to wake from this Adamic sleep, I will have to do more than pinch you in a physical sense, as the quote implies. It requires something much deeper, reaching beyond our conditioned thoughts and emotions to an area of our deepest being. It's been called the spaces in between matters that matter, which sustain and hold all things together. It is these spaces of our being that have to be shaken. The writer of the letter to the Hebrews wrote that God once shook the earth, yet once more will not only shake the earth but also shake the heavens, signifying the removal of all that is seen to reveal the unseen. This is the pinch that has worked in our lives many times with our being unaware of what was happening. The effect of this pinch, what experience would we encounter? First, it would change our sense of reality. So to pinch in a spiritual sense would mean I would have to say things that would alter your sense of reality. I will express later in this book the expression in sleep, out of sleep. Using a natural illustration, I will explain what I meant. You're in a beautiful dream, and the alarm sounds and wakes you to your reality. Pinch. You're on your vacation, then you have to return home, having to go to work the next day. Pinch. We get repeated pinching in this life and this reality to get us to face another reality. That of the routine, from that of a night's rest, a week of vacation. The two realities of even this unreality, work versus pleasure, reveal what I'm attempting to reveal in this book. Like the natural, we also are pinched in like manner of this unreality versus the true reality, awakening us to a higher calling and responsibility, for which without this reality experience would be, as Paul said, if in this life only we have hope in Christ, we are men most miserable. If the pinching of the true reality does not come into play, you are only left with what the natural has to offer, which is home to work, home to work, home to work, sleep wake, sleep wake, sleep wake. Solomon called it the vicious circle and vanity, meaning emptiness of boredom and routine with no hope of it ever ending. Depressing stuff, this matter of pinching, as the world turns, yet the pinch which I'm referring to here is a pinch to hope. As I reflect on what I'm writing here, I see where I have wakened to some degree to this other reality. I am on vacation at this moment and know I will have to return to work in a few days. Pinch. I must go back to their reality and play my part. When I expressed these thoughts in relationship to this writing, it was new to me, this matter of dreaming. So I asked the Lord for His understanding. The understanding came via the trials of my present life, which I once called beautiful, now it's more like an Adamic nightmare. The song by Moody Blues, Nights in White Satin. One line of that song expresses it this way. Beauty I have always missed with these eyes before, just what the truth is I can't say anymore. Pilate and his generation, the peak of the Roman Empire, saw this, and Pilate expressed it at Jesus' trial. What is truth? We are living in an Adamic nightmare, making the best of it. But once you are given a glimpse of the true wake state, it's hard to come back or function in it, this Adamic nightmare. Anything that gives us reason to return back to this nightmare is a strong desire to deliver, awaken others to what we now know to be the truth. What if this is a nightmare to which we have adjusted to? If facing this fact, can we do anything to change it? I believe the answer is yes. I've expressed it in this way. We have to live as if Adam never fell, then coming to realize that we could enter and leave this nightmare at will, returning with assistance to those unaware of it all. The ability to do this was lost by Adam, who chose to believe the lie that he could live out this life, play God, independent from God. Awaking from sleep. It's written, it's time to wake out of sleep. The day is far spent, the day of this experience. This Adamic-induced sleep. Imagine being given the task of waking those asleep. The anger you will confront because you disturbed them. We are born into this world via asleep. Asleep in that we lose consciousness of that which we once knew. This sleep experience was not intended to last forever. It was meant to be temporary. To better understand the use of the word sleep, let's take a look at it from our current experience of sleep as an illustration. While we sleep in our sleep state, the dream world feels real to us. The emotions and thoughts give it a sense of reality. It can even have physical sensations. We in this dream state can live days, even weeks at a time. Also, we can travel a great distance. It has all the truth of that which we have in a awake state. Now, going a step further. There are times when dreaming, we realize we are dreaming. Knowing this, that it's only a dream, we get bold, and it can express greater truth to this dream world than if we didn't know we were dreaming. Ever have those moments? You can say and do things you would not do in a awake state. Now imagine that you find out that this life and its experience is just like this experience in dreaming. You now know that it's just a temporary dream and that you will soon awake. Fear would leave you that you once had, not knowing this. What others might think of you will no longer matter. You would find yourself speaking truth you otherwise would not say. You know your real world is not this dream world. You wouldn't hang on to it because you would know you would soon awake and the dream would be past. You can see what the apostles saw and came to know, and how it changed their lives, giving them a boldness they never had before this insight. Let's take a quick look at various biblical texts that speak to this matter of sleep. And the Lord caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. Genesis 2:21. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, a horror of great darkness fell upon him. Genesis 15:12. And he, Jacob, light upon a certain place, and tarried there all night, because the sun was set. And he took the stones of that place, and put them for his pillows, and lay down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to the heaven. And behold, the angels of God ascended and descended on it. Genesis 28:11-13. And Jacob awakened out of his sleep, and he said, Surely the Lord is in this place, and I knew it not. And he was afraid, and he said, How dreadful is this place! This is none other but the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. Genesis 28:16-17. So man lays down, and rises not, till the heavens be no more, and they shall not awake, nor be risen out of their sleep. Job 14:12. How long will you sleep, O sluggard? When will you rise out of your sleep? Proverbs 6:9. I sleep, but my heart awakens. It is the voice of my beloved that knocks, saying, Open to me, my sister, my love, my dove, my undefiled. Song of Solomon 5:2. Isaiah 29:8. It shall be as when a hungry man dreams, and behold, he eats, but he wakes, and his soul is empty. Or when a thirsty man dreams, and behold, he drinks, but he awakes, and behold, he is faint. For the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, hath closed your eyes, the prophets and your rulers. The seers hath he covered, and the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which men delivered to one that is learned, saying, Read this, I pray. And he said, I cannot read it, for it's sealed. And the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, Read this, I pray. He says, I am not learned. Isaiah 29:10-11. And that, knowing the time, that now is high time to wake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. The night is far spent. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. Romans 13:11-12. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober, for they that sleep, sleep in the night. 1 Thessalonians 5:6-7. These are just a few of the many verses that speak of sleeping. So with all these references, we see where we are being told that this is a sort of sleep, a dream world, yet having its own sense of reality, a reality so real that the danger of being trapped in a comatose state is possible. It's been called hell, Gehenna. For you to see what I have come to see, the hell truly is, I offer you this definition of a comatose state, which defined means a deep, prolonged, unconscious state, which continues beyond this experience if we do not wake out of the sleep we find ourselves in. There, after this experience, in that hell, there is no more learning or chance to wake up. We can understand the statement that Jesus gave. There will be wailing and clashing of teeth, anger, frustration, with no hope of ever changing forever. The way of life is above, to the wise, that he may depart from hell beneath. Proverbs 15:24. Don't let this word I use, comatose, give you the false idea that some have of death, meaning soul sleep, or forever being unconscious. My use of this phrase implies that you will be forever stuck with whatever you have ever thought or believed, unable to wake to what was real. You can see why getting this view would ruin your experience here. Don't let the knowledge of the truth destroy you. Paul saw this true reality beyond this unreality and felt a strong desire to depart. Yet for the sake of the message and his task to cause all to see what he had come to see, he remained. Note, it's not to be seen till a time designated of God. Otherwise, you aren't to interfere with those starting in their experience. Jesus was troubled when he saw this. You will be well over this age before seeing it. Rarely does one see this at such a young age. The unreality of the experience and how temporary it is. At this point, I ask this question. Waking out of sleep in this experience, what are its effects? Here's a good answer, which I quoted in the Bible text above. As a man eating in his dream, and he wakes hungry. As a man drinking in his dream, he wakes thirsty. So two signs show one is beginning to awake. Blessed are those that hunger and thirst after righteousness. See righteousness for what it truly is, a strong desire to see and hear from what one has awakened to true reality. For years I read and studied books, tapes, and videos what others thought and experienced. Yet for myself I lived only as a parrot, quoting others and their experience, never relating it to my own experience. It was to be this way, not only for me, but for all of us. That's how we start. This learning stage under tutors and guides until a time designated of the Father. Galatians 4, 1-2. This relates to the time of waking that I speak about, when all that once was just theory comes to us view of experience. Quite different is this matter experience versus theory. Some like one finds after listening to an army recruiter. They paint a glorious picture of becoming all one can be. They just didn't add the hidden elements that what you presently are would be destroyed in the process of converting you from a civilian to a soldier. I guess if they did, many would not have signed the dotted lines. But Christ wasn't your typical recruiter. He, right up front, warned of the cost and explained what to expect. Luke 14:28. Did we listen? No. Did we believe the warning? No. Then what caused us to join this thing of Christianity? I guess we figured he was only kidding, or we listened to some well-meaning preacher that took the role of a good recruiter and led us to believe that everything would be great once you came to know Jesus. Guess what? They were wrong, and we need to wake up to just how wrong they were and why. This is developed deeper in my book, At Fire Spiritual Insights. The price of awakening. A friend of mine, Dr. Bruce Morgan, spent his life doing just this and paid the price for doing it. The price of all of us will pay if we follow what is shared in his tapes, or what I'm sharing here in these videos. First, you will find that you no longer fit into the scheme of things in both the secular and religious world. You're like an alien from some distant planet that doesn't exist to those hearing you. Outside of something like this you're hearing in this book, you'll feel a deep feeling of aloneness. It's like being a soldier in Germany riding a streetcar in a soldier's uniform. It gives you this look that says Ausländer, foreigner. Those were the loneliest days of my life, spending 1.5 hours or 1.5 years there, away from the familiar things of home and family. Those experiences and feelings now come to me, yet not as a soldier in a foreign country, but because of what I had to come to know and experience. You feel like you're speaking a foreign language, and only few understand you. So this matter of our first waking up and taking on the task of waking up has its price. It's been expressed in this way: many are called, few are chosen. The many is referring to the calling of us all to this experience. Those that are chosen are those who were given the pre-foundational responsibility to call to memory to the all what the original intent of God was for this experience. It was this their task to give the warning of entrapment in this experience and to direct us to this experience back from whence we came. There are times I regret ever taking on this pre-foundational task. Little did I know then what I now know. I've come to know and have experienced just what this meant. Think of the Son of God, who before the foundations of this world's experience had said that if the need would arise to assure our deliverance from this trap, he would come to off the way back. He knew in mind what it would entail, and did not consider it a matter to even be considered. He humbled himself and came into our experience and was touched with all infirmities. The shock of the experience overwhelmed him at times, giving him the same conflict I feel today, asking, is it possible that this cup pass? But then, nevertheless, I promise, thus what I promise, be done. Matthew 26:39. So, as he did, I now continue, filling up that which was lacking in his affliction and reminding others to the meaning of this experience and his ultimate intention. There is more beyond. God bless you.